Hello guys, I'm Nona and I began this year with the Malayalam film Varathan, directed by Amal Neerad, starring the wonderful Fahadh Faasil and Aishwarya Lekshmi. Screenplay by Suhas-Sharfu. Now Wikipedia says that this is an unofficial adaptation of Straw Dogs. So I was watching this film on Discord with other viewers. So if you want to join us, link in the description. Now before anything, I want to tell you a story about this film. I've got a lot of requests to watch this film, review it. It's Fahadh Faasil's, but a lot of comments said last 15 minutes are bonkers, they're not really good. The whole film is really good, but the last 15 minutes disappoint. And I always got a comment like this for this film. So I prepared myself that I'll be open-minded. Let's just watch what it is and let's see, is it that disappointing or not. Now honestly, you can ask the people who are watching it with me. At the end of the film, I was waiting when will those 15 minutes will come, which were very disappointing. And then the film ended. And then I realized that the whole climax was those 15 minutes, which were not disappointing really. So now let's get into the review. Now this film doesn't really work as a whole, but it does in parts. And what I mean with that is that this is not a great film put together. There are some sequences in the film which are really good, which are memorable, I'll remember them. But as a whole film, it doesn't really work. What is a film? There are different sequences put together to make sense. And when they all work together as a whole, it becomes a good film. But here, there are good chunks, but they never blend well, they feel disconnected. Now I didn't see any trailer, I didn't read the synopsis for this film, I didn't know anything about it. And it really takes a lot of time, to understand what the film is really about. I think until we didn't reach the village and that house, I didn't understand what the film is about. And after that, I got the sense of it. Now the first 15 minutes were really good, really interesting, very well shot. Fahadh man, always amazing. I can spend hours just looking at him sitting idle. With his character not getting the project, then they had a miscarriage. That whole setup was really interesting. And both the characters also had issues, which was very evident in the dialogues. At the beginning when Fahadh says that they are expecting, his colleague asked, did everything work out? So definitely they had issues. The scene where Fahadh gets to know about the miscarriage, wonderfully performed by both the actors. And now I'm very excited to see where this will go. But that leads to nowhere. It never comes back and just used as a backstory for these characters, and that's it. And when we get to the village, Fahadh totally takes a backseat. There's not much for him to do until the climax. Now in this part, Aishwarya Lekshmi takes the front seat, and I really like the whole middle section of the struggle she has. And yes, the cinematography, it's very handheld throughout the film. But if you notice one thing, even before the so-called villains enter, the way it's shot, it feels like someone is looking over them, someone is talking them, someone is peeking into their lives. The camera acts in that way, as if we the audience are peeking into their life. What later those guys do in the film. That was really interesting. The conflict was too real. In a way, both were right. We see what's happening to her, right? She feels unsafe. She's creeped out. She cannot live freely in her own house just because of these creeps. And he is being very logical, being very practical. He's in a way asking her to ignore all of this because there's really nothing you can do. Fahadh doesn't really want to confront because they really don't have a proof for all of this. He does go to them and tell them, to sing softly. But it's their place, right? They can just sit and sing. Similarly, when you're walking on the street, right, people will look at you. You cannot stop people from looking at each other. And whatever their thoughts are in their minds, you cannot call it a crime. You cannot tell them to stop. Until a crime is not committed, you cannot punish them or catch them. Thinking about something wrong is not a crime. So I totally understand both of their perspective. And these creeps, man. Sharifuddin, oh my god, what a transformation. The moment he comes on screen, he doesn't say a word and he just looks like a creep. Just the aura around him just creeps me out. And it definitely did overpower Fahadh. This film explores the moral policing that happens. People want to defend their culture, but stalking, teasing, molesting, inappropriately looking at a girl, that's all fine. That's part of the culture, right? And also the caste and class divide is present, and the film covers all those ills in the society in that place. Now definitely the anxiety kicked in. I was getting the flashbacks of Ishq. By the way, if you haven't seen the review, go check it out. It almost gave me a heart attack. Guys, if you're finding value in this video, hit the like button because when you do that, YouTube promotes this video and more people can watch it. Also consider subscribing and hit the bell icon to get notification whenever a new video drops. The good thing was I was watching it on Hotstar and it is a censored version, so some of the molesting sequences were not there, and actually I was happy about that because that would have made it more difficult to watch it. Now definitely there's a feeling that the film is lagging in the middle portions because now I know what is gonna happen and I'm just waiting for it. But the film needs to set it up, establish it really well. They need to build it up. And then the last 20-25 minutes were Home Alone adult version. A lot of massy scenes. While watching that, there were a lot of whistles and claps. And in a way, the film earned that. You are rooting for the hero because the build-up was so good. You want the hero to beat the crap out of all of these people. Again, this time, the villain takes the back seat. He's totally lost. He just becomes a goon. The fighting and all was not very over the top, very stylized, liked it. But of course, the logic was really loose. And it does feel out of place, that how is he doing all of this, right? It feels like he was planning all of this for a week, the way he was doing all of these tricks. And there's no answer how he could do it. Just maybe he's a hero. That's one thing. Someone was telling me, they were keeping his character very mysterious. We don't know anything about him. Crap. No. The film never sets it up like that. He went to a boarding school, was working in Dubai, fell in love, got married. You cannot pull that Lucifer twist here at all. Makes no sense. And now take the example of Liam Neeson's Taken movie here, In the first film, we really don't know what's his backstory is. But we get it through his actions. They never say it loud that, maybe he was a spy, he was in CIA, FBI, anything, nothing like that. We learn that from his actions. We get to know, oh, he has all these contacts, maybe he was that, maybe he was that. But it is set up in the film. But in this film, nothing is set up like that. Out of nowhere, he just does all of these things. We feel good because we support him, and that's it. Nothing more than that. And at the end, does it really matter how he did it? Do you really care? We just want him to beat the crap out of them. That's it. Because finding answer for this will not really solve all the issues in the film. It will not make the film great. There is no one issue in the film, that if you find answer for that, oh, the film will become a perfect film. No. There are so many issues that one answer will not help it. The film had a clear intention. They want to show this issue on screen, have these complex characters but never explore them. It raises the issue, depicts it really well, and have a fantasy ending to make a statement. That's it. That was the purpose of this film. Now, I don't really feel that the statement was really constructive, because the memorable parts of the film is of the hero beating the crap out of the villain, and not the issue or the things Priya faced. So it works as an entertainer but not to give a social message. So guys, those are my thoughts on the film. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button, share this video, let me know in the comments your thoughts. If you haven't subscribed yet, check out the videos. If you like them too, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.